Hello my fellow degenerates and welcome back to God's Favorite Mistake of a Channel, and today we're going to be talking about my favorite TikTok channel, Evanlovesworf. TikTok has a lot of people making some good content, some bad, but the one thing that remains the same in all platforms is that you'll always find a clout goblin lurking around everywhere, especially what I like to call the fake contrarians, and they love to disagree with everything that brings a reaction out of people. So today we're going to be having a pseudo-intellectual discussion about such an individual, well, kinda. The account that we're going to be talking about is run by this cringy clout chasing so desperate to be relevant that most things he says become silly. Why him, you may ask? Well, he's my hero and I wish to emulate at least a small portion of his ability to entertain people. Evanlovesworf is a commentary TikToker that makes bad takes over videos of someone cooking food, a method he copied from one of my other heroes, Karen, who was the first person to come up with this formula. But the thing is, Evan over here, he's a professional. He scavenges through whatever topic that he could get his hands on so he can stay relevant, just so he could slurp on that sweet, sweet internet clout a little bit longer. And listen to me here, I mean anything. If it has potential to be a little bit controversial, this man has already made 10 videos on it. Mind you, I became a fan of him when I saw a video of him saying this.
MrBeast's fundamental grift is saying, hey, we don't need governments to solve problems, we just need nice rich people like me. Just like and subscribe and I will solve the problems. Of course, we could solve most of the world's problems by redistributing wealth, which only governments can do. But something interesting happened with MrBeast's most recent video. In this video, MrBeast paid for a cheap surgery to cure 1,000 people of blindness. He made sure the camera caught him sitting next to the people as they had their emotional reactions. He could have just paid for the procedures and not made a video. And the video shouldn't make you happy, it should make you mad that these people can't afford this cheap procedure. And it may have made MrBeast a little mad too, because he came to Twitter saying, hey, why don't governments pay for these procedures? Now, he did not say that in the video. And also in the video, he gave people Teslas, even though Elon Musk does not support universal healthcare.
Helping blind people is bad, capitalism is bad, so you should feel bad at giving or receiving a Tesla. And he doesn't stop there, because a day later, he made another video doubling down on what he said.
When I make the argument that MrBeast exploits poor people for views and also pushes the narrative that rich people can solve social problems instead of something like universal healthcare or just socialism, I get two kinds of responses. The first response is, hey, what have you done? MrBeast is doing things, what have you done? And I'll be first to say, I don't do jack shit, okay? I don't do anything, okay? I'm still fucking right. I'm still right. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, I'm making an argument and the argument's still true. The pot calling the kettle black doesn't make the kettle not black. The second argument I get is that he needs to make videos of the poor people because that's how he makes money to give to poor people. That's not true. He makes other videos all the time. He made that dumb Squid Game video that showed he didn't understand Squid Game at all. He doesn't care about poor people, he cares about you thinking he cares about poor people. And I'm not saying you're a bad person for watching his videos, but I am saying you're a meat rider.
And let me just say something real quick, before your brain shuts down from stimulating conversation. I just want to say, you can tell someone's being a good person when they claim not to help said poor people, and considers the people who help out a meat rider. And now I was hooked, I needed more, so I did the only rational thing and liked the video. And my For You page got flooded by his videos. Thanks TikTok, I needed those incredibly stupid takes. I also want to thank the heavens that he's been doing this for a while. So now I have a juicy catalog of content to go over with. So let's begin.
Dude, enough, we get it. You know who should be in prison? Nobody. The current prison system is inhumane, it violates human rights, it's racist, it hurts innocent people, and it actually causes crime to go up. The whole thing should be abolished. It's a system of slavery and torture that you get to feel good about and watch TV about. People who commit crimes do not forfeit their human rights. They deserve reconciliation, rehabilitation, dignity, integrity, and humanity. The vast majority of crimes can be prevented not by police, but by meeting people's material needs and addressing other root causes of crime. Those people should be immediately rehabilitated and released, and then we the people should meet their material needs along with everyone else in society. For the people who can't be rehabilitated, those people are mentally ill and punishing them is sick. There are many systems we can implement to treat those people with care and integrity while protecting the rest of society, but the current prison system is not one of them. Prison is torture and torture is wrong. Please dream of better things. Yes, it's a raptor, you showed us already.
Now, there's a lot of takes about the prison system that I believe in. Like, yeah, some crimes don't deserve life in prison for stealing bread. Whatever, this isn't a prison debate video, but for whatever reason, he simplified it down to a degree of a third grader. Right? It's only black or white, or in this case, white and white. I'm sorry, but no amount of material needs will satisfy anyone who just wants to commit murder. I'll be the first one to break the news to you, but some people in this world are just plain evil. I'll break the news for you. Some people in this world are just plain evil. They don't care as long as they satisfy their needs, they're okay with it. Hey, Johnny, yeah, you remember that guy that ended the life of like a whole family and later ate them? Well, guess what? He's out of prison and he's looking for work here. What do you think? I mean, well, we should fulfill his material needs and give him a knife. I don't want him hurting his hands next time.
I'm gonna try to keep an open mind here. Measuring human intelligence is a waste of everyone's time. Oh, is one person smarter than another person? What does that even mean? And yeah, there are a bunch of different ways of measuring the cognitive ability of people, but most of them just happen to be racist. What do I mean racist? Well, IQ scores, for instance, have higher average scores for white people than for black people. And of course, the entire field of measuring intelligence does trace back to things like race science. But also, measures of intelligence tend to test for proficiency in academia or at a job. In other words, intelligence tests try to predict for success, and they're not even very good at doing that. But clearly, intelligence is complex and multidimensional, much more than how you do in school or at a job. If you think how much money you make is how intelligent you are, you're stupid. Meanwhile, researchers can't agree on how to measure intelligence or even what it is, so until then, it's effectively meaningless. You have failed again.
Sorry for interrupting, but yeah, measuring for intelligence is stupid. You know, I wouldn't want the people handling my money, my healthcare, or even wielding a position of power to be smart or anything like that. Right? Let that man over there who blew his life saving on crack make the decisions. Wait a second, you might have a point. XQC is one of Twitch's richest entertainer, and I'm positive this man's last 2 brain cells died a decade ago. So I think I might have to revisit this point in the future. Also, buddy, I have seen most of your content, and I'm confident to say I have discovered a new method of checking one's intelligence. If they have liked more than 2 of your videos, well, I'm not gonna say it, but there's most likely nothing going up in there.
Amateur baking. Let's talk about MrBeast for a second, and I want to recognize that MrBeast has helped some individuals and has done a little bit of good for the environment, but he is a force for bad in the world. If MrBeast cared about the lives of poor people, he wouldn't film their reactions when he gives them money. No, he cares about poor people because they make him money. If MrBeast cared about poor people, he would be engaged in political solutions to poverty instead of palling around with right-wingers on the internet and to this day idolizing Elon Musk. Oh, you don't think he's right-wing? He has a history of saying homophobic and racist things as of 2021 and is by all accounts a toxic and abusive boss. Meanwhile, he likes to pretend to be outside of politics. He doesn't want to get political. If he cared about the environment, he wouldn't be helping some of the biggest polluters on Earth distract you from how much they're polluting by doing a little bit of trash cleanup in the ocean. I mean, what can you expect from a guy who looked at Squid Game and said, let's do this, but remove all the anti-capitalism?
Here's something that I will never understand about MrBeast detractors, right? They will always, without missing a beat, try painting this man as the second coming of the Antichrist for making videos. And their arguments are all the same. Oh, MrBeast is bad because he films poor people. And these people never take into account the amount of money that he gives off platform, the food banks that he sets up to feed millions of Americans. And you know what's the funny part about this? Most celebrities that you most likely support don't even give a damn about the poor people. Also, who are these biggest polluters aside from trust me bro, I know. If you're gonna say something, at least bring it up with some facts.
Oh, it's a fish.
It's a whale, you dumbass.
Oil paints. Women are getting annoyed being looked at by men in the gym and then posting videos of those men without their consent. And some creators have pointed out that you shouldn't post videos of people without their consent. And yeah, I agree. Those creators are also saying, hey, those men didn't do anything wrong. They're only looking at you because they want to help you. And yeah, I don't agree. Of course the men are checking out the women at the gym and making them uncomfortable. What are you talking about? Have you ever met a man before? Staring at women is one of the core functions of men. And I don't want to blow your mind here, but I think it's a reasonable request to want men to do that a little bit less. I'm not saying men should never ask women out, but maybe stop treating every single area of public life like it's Tinder. Ooh, a lamp.
Like, wow, what a profound statement. Thank you, Evan. If it wasn't for you letting me know that treating women like objects is bad, I would have continued collecting women like they were Pokemon cards. You know what's the funniest thing about saying all men stare you down like you're a piece of meat at the gym? there are no good men is that I have heard this exact statement come from a certain group of people that go, yeah, that black guy over there, he's exactly like the other black guys. They will do bad things wherever they go. I'm just saying. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for speaking out on these issues. You really are doing the Lord's work. No. You do more than the Lord's work. You are what we need right now. I need you to tell me that I'm doing bad things. You're out there changing minds and educating those idiots. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Make my shit tight.
Oh, nice classic joke about the husband stitch. Let me explain it to you. See, this creator took a sound that said, make my shit tight, and is applying it to an illegal medical procedure performed on a woman who is unaware of it and has not consented to it. In this case, the woman is the mother of his child and his wife, the person he wants to spend the rest of his life with. And the medical procedure is one that he thinks will just make sex better for him, and will also cause a huge amount of pain and discomfort for the wife, and also will not make sex better for him because tightness is not about the opening. This is such a great joke. Women are going to love it because there's nothing they love more than being objectified, having their bodily autonomy violated, and not being able to trust men.
Not to sound patriotic here, but I tell you, goddamn, this is America, home of the monster truck, the Red Bull, and the freedom. Oh, and home of the lawsuits. I will explain this in the most simplest terms. In America, you can sue yourself. No, you did not mishear me, or I didn't stutter. You can sue yourself. So in what world, no, what dimension would any self-respecting doctor spend 10 to 14 years and a small fortune would willingly risk everything knowing that they will get a few $100? One, it's clearly a niche joke. And yes, as unfunny as it was, a joke is a joke nonetheless. Also, you're now spreading misinformation since it's considered a myth by Now.org, a website dedicated to women's health. So if they say it's a myth, then I don't know what else to add here. Huh, Evan? You calling women liar now?
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, I recently had to dunk on some loser for making a misogynistic joke, and then a bunch of people told me it's just a joke, so now I have to dunk on those losers. You see, all jokes consist of a setup and a punchline. The setup is the part we all agree to be true, and the punchline is an exaggeration or application in a funny way of the setup. Now, there are certain special cases for jokes, such as an ironic joke where you believe the opposite of the setup, or a non-joke where the punchline nullifies the setup. There are also absurdist jokes where the punchline has nothing to do with the setup. So if you're making a misogynistic joke, but you're not a misogynist, you need to make it clear that you actually do not believe the setup beforehand. But what if instead of making it clear you don't agree with the misogynistic premise of your joke, you just make a whole bunch of other misogynistic jokes, and when women call you out and say that you offended them, you double down? Well then yeah, it's just a joke, and you're just a misogynistic loser like all the people who think your joke is funny and are defending you. Yummy.
Sorry to interrupt here, but my hero Evan, with his megamind level of IQ and master of all comedy, I'm sorry to say this, but I know comedy is subjective, and I know not everybody can accept all forms of jokes, but I kinda am starting to believe that comedy should be added in the IQ test. Because if you're not able to understand that something is made for the express purposes of making jokes, well, it should be an indicator for your intelligence. Well, for now, Evan, that's not an issue because I can clearly see that you're a funny guy. Come on, Evan, I want you to do me a favor, right? Number one, please pay for your Twitter Blue. It was hard to find you, and at least link your Twitter to your TikTok. Listen, man, I'm not mad, I just want you to take this a little bit more seriously. You have what, like 250,000 followers on TikTok? Would it really hurt you to link your Twitter and your TikTok? You know what's the funniest thing about his anti-capitalism rant? You know the whole Elon Musk is bad and all? Since he gained power, he removed the ability to see what device you're posting from. Right? If it was still active, I wonder what device my hero Evan would post from. Wink wink.
Plus my favorite, pepper spray. If you're picking your kids...
You're picking up your kids from the mall and all you have is a wannabe tank with some pepper spray? Do you know how fast teenagers are going to chew through that bulletproof armor? Do you understand how many hormones are surging through their bodies? You have nothing with stopping power. Use all the pepper spray you want, you're just going to make them mad.
Ha 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 ha.
More cartoon cake. Oh, you say you hate capitalism, yet you use an iPhone. Gotcha. You're like the pot calling the kettle black, right? Because the pot's black also. The kettle's not, well, okay. Critiquing capitalism while you're trapped in the system of capitalism really hurts your argument. Using the device of one of the few companies that has come out on top while stifling all other innovation is really making your argument weak. Being forced to engage in capitalism against your will to make your anti-capitalist argument? Yeah, take the L. Maybe instead of telling me how historically effective socialistic policies have been, you should move to one of those socialist or communist countries that exist fully outside of the context of capitalism and don't even use money. You know, a place like Wakanda. Cake!
Ah, for shame. I'm upset that that dictator came in and removed a whole bunch of pesky things that will let me know who's on what device and if they're spewing hypocrisy. Do you know what's the funny thing about your argument? We don't live in North Korea. We live in a free market. We can get other phones besides the iPhone, like the Samsung Note 20, the Google Pixel, hell, the Motorola Moto. But you won't buy any of those other phones because an iPhone is a status symbol, and you know that. You goddamn hypocrite. Listen here, guys. Clearly, Evan is not the pot calling the kettle black, because he is a kettle. Well played, Evan. Well played indeed. Yeah, this guy just fucking sucks. There's not much else for me to say. Right? The idea of capitalism is bad, and the only way to live is to give up on everything. It's stupid in general and in practice, because he's also partaking in capitalism, and it's kind of hypocritical, to be honest. I truly have a disdain for people who pretend like they're fighting against a system of oppression while also partaking and benefiting from it. It comes off as hypocritical and disingenuous. Like, again, what do you do for the homeless except walk over them and ignore them when you're coming out of Starbucks? Hell, I bet even Evan spits at them as he's walking out. Now, if there's any Evanlovesworf fans out there, let me just say, hi, welcome to the channel, and thank you for sitting through one of my pointless videos. And if this video was so pointless to make, why make it in the first place? Well, duh, I wanted the views. Hey, I could be hypocritical. I'm at least being honest. So yeah, leave a like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in a day or two. Still getting used to the whole commentary thing. Peace.